Alright, this is Kumar coming to you live from IIT's Bombay campus for ET Now's brand new daily show on startups, ET Now Startup Central. Chandra.
And I'm Chandra Srikanth, joining you live from India's startup capital, Bangalore. Over to the headlines then. The CEO of one of the world's hottest startups has a date with IIT Bombay. We get you all the details of Uber founder and CEO Travis Kalanick's mantras for startups. The food tech space may be under pressure, but Swiggy raises a fresh round. Exclusive chat with the management coming up. If you're a startup, there's one more company that can mentor you. IT firm Mindtree is all set to launch an accelerator soon. India's leading bank Kotak is counting on search behemoth Google to mine its customers better. More details on this tie-up on the show. How many unicorns got created in 2015 the world over? We tell you in this special report.
Alright then, I am here at the IIT's Bombay campus in Powai in Mumbai, where Travis Kalanick, founder and CEO of Uber, just had an awesome and enthralling chat with students over here. And I have with me some of the students who are part of the organizing committee of this fireside chat, as they call it. There was no fire inside the auditorium. And this guy was the man who introduced Travis Kalanick and brought him on stage, much to the envy of all of his fellow students. What was it like for you to watch Travis Kalanick talk? He was candid and funny, right?
It was a huge honor hosting him on stage, and what I like the most about him, that he's just a normal guy like any one of us. He's got no airs about himself, so that was the best thing, to watch him do his own drill before the event. He was walking up and down the stage doing his own drills, and a great start to the Entrepreneurship Summit, which is to be held on 30th and 31st of January.
Alright, that's the word coming in from him. What was it like for you? What is your big takeaway from Travis's talk?
He's probably the best thing he said was, you be your own Dr. Jugaad. Don't rely on big things to make it a grand success. You have to rely on the small things and make the most out of it.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of talk about Jugaad, and in fact he was christened Dr. Jugaad at this all-important chat. There was lots of talk about students wanting to become entrepreneurs. For somebody like you, after witnessing a talk like this, does it enthuse you to more go ahead and be an entrepreneur?
Actually, according to his talk, one thing he mentioned particularly hit me, that when he was 6, he used to get up and solve his problems. And even today he does that. So that's particularly what inspires me to become an entrepreneur in my life.
All right. Well, what did you take away from Travis Kalanick's talk? He was funny, right? Like, yeah. Nobody expected a CEO from Silicon Valley to be that funny, that kind. When somebody asked him, where do you see Uber in 5 years? He said, I don't know, right? Did it take you by surprise the way Travis took on this chat?
Basically, like when you see a global person over here, you will feel that he'll be like too much in the air. But yeah. He was so normal. He was so genuine, yeah. And all his words did fit the Indian context very well.
Yeah, that was very important as well. He was able to understand the Indian context very well. What was your takeaway from Travis Kalanick's big chat? It's not very often that Uber CEO comes to IIT campus, right?
Yeah, I think Travis is a very inspiring person, because his co-founder cheated on him, and and everything worse that can happen with a person happened with him, and he raised up, and now everyone knows the history.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk about how to take failure and risk and make sure you get up and never give up. That was one of the key messages coming in from him. And finally, I'm going to come to you. Sitting out there like a fly on the wall, seeing this auditorium, go uproar with laughter. What was your takeaway watching all this action?
Okay, so being the part of the entrepreneurship cell, I get to attend a lot of sessions. But the special thing about Travis' event was, he made it really insightful and funny at the same time.
Insightful and funny at the same time. And I have to say, Travis's key message was that there are 3 bays in the world where innovation and R&D take place. One is Bay Area, obviously in San Francisco. The other is Beijing, and the other is Bengaluru or Bangalore. That was the message coming in from him. He said the startup ecosystem in India has improved a lot in the last 10 years, and the key innovations will come from Bengaluru or India, is the word coming in from Travis Kalanick, founder and CEO of Uber, in a fun, exciting and insightful chat right here at IIT Bombay campus in Powai. Back to you, Chandra, in India, Silicon Valley, Bengaluru.
Krishna, good to know that Bengaluru figures among the 3B, so I'm certainly here in the hub of innovation. But we move now to the big funding story of the day, where food ordering app Swiggy has raised $35 million from existing and new investors. To really put it all in perspective, we are joined by Swiggy co-founder Nandan Reddy. Nandan, thank you so much for talking to ET Now. You've raised funds at a time when the entire food tech space is undergoing a lot of pain, layoffs, structural issues. So, should we take this as a sign that the worst may be over for food tech? Is that the broader message coming from this?
So I can't really, comment on the macro picture of how the industry is basically shaping up. But specifically to us, we've been a company that has wanted to build something sustainably right from day one. Our discounting, the amount of discounting that we do is extremely low. It's a lot of organic and repeat orders that we keep getting on the platform. And how we've stood out from the others is the fact that our service speaks for itself. Our average delivery time is close to 36 minutes right now. And this is the reason why, we invest more in our customer service, our customer satisfaction, more than getting customers with discounts. So I think that has really kind of helped us in the last 1 year.
You've moved from Series A to B to C in a span of 1 year. What really sets Swiggy apart from the likes of a Food Panda or a Tiny Owl? What's really helped you?
So one key differentiator is the fact that we have our own delivery fleet, right? So the delivery fleet helps us to have control over end-to-end delivery of the product. So this basically helps us to have incredible service levels for the consumer. Like I said, the average delivery time is 36 minutes. You can track your delivery boy on a map coming close to you. So these form very strong, these have basically been very strong moats for us on the consumer side, and we'd want to basically keep doing the same, keep the consumer in the middle of everything and work towards building an incredible experience for the consumer.
And are the days of hefty commissions then over? Is the focus going to now be on unit economics all the way?
So we have been in a state where we've always been challenged by people giving away heavy discounts, but we've never really found the need to do it on a massive scale. Our discounting percentage is actually extremely low. We've never basically abided by it, and even going forward we won't do it because we know for a fact that this will lead to a vicious cycle of basically needing to incentivize the customers more and more for every transaction. So that's whatever we've done till now, we're going to stick by it.
You've raised $35 million in a difficult environment. So what mandate have your investors given you after giving you this fresh round of funding?
So primarily with respect to what we want to do with this round of funding is we want to be able to consolidate in the top 8 markets that we are in. We want to clearly dominate the food delivery space. We're definitely market leaders, and we want to be able to widen the gap with respect to our market leadership. We want to completely consolidate in the markets that we are present in the 8 cities that we are present in. Apart from that, hiring will be a very key theme going forward, and also investing in technology on the vendor side or the merchant side, where we build products for our vendors, much more products and tech for our vendors, so that there is a lot more automation going forward.
Right, and you mentioned consolidation in the top 8 cities, but if there are other segments that you will look to enter, what would they really be by leveraging your existing network?
So with respect to new cities, it's just going to be the 8 that we're already present in. There are a few very interesting new initiatives that we're doing in Bangalore. One is basically Swiggy Express, where we're doing 20-minute deliveries, where there will be a limited menu available to customers to order from, and once they place the order, they basically get the order delivered within 20 minutes. So we're pushing the bar with respect to service levels and delivery times. So like I said, average delivery time is 36 minutes. Now we're trying to beat that and say, you know what, can we get food even faster than that?
Thanks so much, Nandan, for putting that all in perspective. So clearly food ordering is not such a bad space after all if you look at Swiggy. But Krishna, what do we have next?
Well, what we have next is something like good news for all the new startups and the budding entrepreneurs out there. We've been talking on the show about how traditional Indian IT companies want a larger piece of the startup pie, and we have another one. Yesterday we spoke about Wipro, and today we have another one. And to explain that, we have another Krishna Kumar happening on the show. That's Krishna Kumar Natarajan, CEO of Mindtree, in conversation with ET Now's Rahul Dayama about their accelerator plan for startups. Take a look.
See, we've certainly led on creating startups. There is a strong entrepreneurship program which we call 5x50, where startups are incubated within Mindtree. In fact, one of the startups got spun off as an independent entity in April. So clearly we've done a lot of work on incubating startups within Mindtree.
Infosys has a venture arm, Wipro has Wipro Ventures to make strategic bets on startups. Mindtree does not really have a fund of sort. Going forward, is that an option that you would look at?
See, we are just in our planning cycle, so some of the thinking on that is emerging. But if I were to share with you early thoughts on that, we don't believe a venture fund type of thing is the right approach to deal with startups. We think organizations like Mindtree should intensely engage with startups as a part of trying to grow them. So there are certainly some thoughts, but over the next 6 to 8 weeks, we would be in a position to share that with you.
But are you telling me that you are looking at a dedicated fund of sorts for startups as far as startups are concerned?
To make the product market fit validated, to get a good founding team. How do you really establish a working relationship amongst the founding teams? How do they split their equity? How do they take positions? So in a way, intensely working with them and trying to help them create a successful business. What form it will evolve at this point, I'm not clear. But certainly over the next 8 to 10 weeks, I think we will have something. We will share that with you.
Which sector of startups excite you? Is it cloud, data technology? So which area of startups are you looking to closely collaborate and work with?
See, the cloud area is an area of interest for us because that is something which impacts our customers. Big data and analytics is another area which we are certainly interested. We are also interested in devices which can help deliver technology in a cost-effective way because our technology business has a lot of focus on consumer devices.
What do the Indian startups lag that they're not really catching the interest of IT firms like Wipro, Infosys?
I do not believe that Indian startups do not have that capability. I think there's a tremendous level of innovation and great ideas which are being done by Indian startups. What they lack is what I mentioned earlier. The ability to validate the product market fit, the ability to put a proper operating structure within the founding team.
Good to know that Mindtree reposed its faith in Indian startups. But on to an interesting technology tie-up today where Kotak Institutional Equities has tied up with Google. Now, as a result of this, they want to map consumer behavior better by mining Google Trends data. What's in it for Google and Kotak? My colleague Neha Botra caught up with Google's Industry Director Vikas Agnihotri to find out.
We basically have Google Search and Insights, which is actually an open tool. It's accessible to everybody. We just believe that partnerships of this nature provide greater insights, as I said, to the marketeers to take better and more efficient decisions. There is a lot of data that is actually happening there, and I think Google is a great platform where consumers and millions of consumers actually come and they express and show intent in terms of what they want to do. Through the tie-up with Kotak, we are trying to bring in a science behind all the data points and actually structure it in a manner that it demystifies the consumer buying behavior and provides meaningful insights to marketers and corporates and organizations to take the right decision.
So would there be some kind of a revenue sharing model wherein Kotak would be paying you for analyzing the data? Is there scope for such an arrangement?
Well, Kotak's report is free. Data that we provide is free and accessible to everybody. So there is no monetary consideration. The only thing is that we want to get the best information out to people, who are looking at that, and that's about it.
Also, what interesting information have you uncovered about user trends as far as behavior is concerned in space such as banking? Also, you indicated the two-wheeler space that could be of interest, including the beauty segment. So how do you see this information really being useful going forward?
We still have to do a lot of work on the two-wheeler industry and on the beauty segment because that's work in progress. But when we really look at this particular specific report in terms of the data and insights that are coming out, is just the fact that we are now able to see that there is a when a consumer comes in terms of keeping one brand in mind. By the time the person starts doing the research and the search and the research and intensive research as he goes down through the entire learning process, there are two more brands that come into place. More than 50% of the consumers actually change their mind and in terms of the brand by which they've begun the search process to what the final outcome is.
What is it that Google can provide Kotak an edge with as far as data analytics is concerned that Kotak perhaps can't mull out or cull out from their internal analytic engine?
I think we are giving access to Google Search and Google Insights, which is actually accessible to everybody. But I think a closer partnership with our team and their team only makes both teams' understanding of what they want to do with data even better. And there are enough papers that have been written around. But when two really good organizations come together to provide with one common goal of providing the best insights to people, I think magic gets created in the manner in which the report has come out.
All right, then, away from that interview and on to some important data. Chandra, 2015, the venture capitalist funding for the year 2015 started slowing down in the second half of the year. That's clear. But however, 2015 still ended up being one of the best years that has been for startups when it comes to venture capitalist funding. And there's data to prove that. And that data comes from CB Insights and KPMG. And even as that data comes out, we have a startup boom, Startup India, Stand Up India happening right here in India. Here's a snapshot of those numbers and what to look forward to in 2016. Take a look.
2015 ended with a bit of a whimper, but it was still a landmark year as venture capitalist-backed companies raised the most money in 15 years. Data from CB Insights and KPMG shows global funding to VC-backed companies hit an all-time high of $128.5 billion, up 44% as compared to 2014. While 72 new unicorns were created, the pace significantly slowed down towards the end of the year. The India story too lost steam in the second half as concerns mounted on valuations. As a result, deals and funding fell 46% and 18% in the last quarter of 2015 as compared to the previous quarter, as startups raised $1 billion across 114 deals. With the global economy looking shaky and sentiment taking a hit, 2016 has started on a cautious note. It remains to be seen if VC funding in 2016 will gather pace going forward.
Over to some number crunching then, and the number we are looking at today is 5 million. Why is 5 million significant? That's the number of jobs that will be lost in the next 5 years, according to data from the World Economic Forum, because of the advent of robots and artificial intelligence. It certainly looks like the rise of the machines is upon us. Krishna, that's the big number of the day. Over to you.
That's a very unsettling number you're throwing to me with, Chandra. 5 million jobs. I really hope my job doesn't get automated with artificial intelligence and robots, although it is quite possible. But all said and done, it's been a pleasure coming to you live here from IIT's Bombay campus, where Travis Kalanick, Uber's iconic founder and CEO, had a rip-roaring chat with the students over here, giving a lot of insights. But with that, we have to wrap things up here on ET Now Startup Central. Coming up next is Market Watch with Ajay Sharma. Ajay, what do you have for us?
Well, that's correct, KK. This is turning out to be a great day for global equities. They are staging a very smart recovery. We'll wrap all the action from global equities and even from the commodity side after this very short break.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.